Hey, PA Trapping, how we doing, bud? Overcast outdoors. How's it going? Brian, what's up, buddy? Justin, I figure you're out checking cattle or something by right now. Hey, Squirrely. You got all those, did you calf everything already? I figured you still had a few left. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look, Justin, see if that guy messaged me back. He's supposed to call you about that machine. Dustin, not doing too bad. How are you? Hey, Eric. Get those beaver skinned yet, bud? No, he hasn't read my message yet, Justin. So, Aiden, you caught your first skunk yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry it sprayed for you, buddy. One thing I'd look into doing with them is you don't want a headshot on them. I really prefer the chest shot on them. They don't spray nearly as often. Overcast, yeah, I do some fishing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be doing some filming this year on fishing. Uh, Probably primarily bow fishing, but I got a few good catfish spots I'll be checking out too. Hey, Dredger, what's up? Mr. Somebody, how we doing? Jesse, what's up, man? Eric, nope. Hey, little Christopher. Good. I'm glad it's not past his bedtime. How we doing, little man? Ben, how'd you do turkey hunting? And you're not late, bud. We just started about 2 minutes ago. You're good. Mark, you drove all the way across Iowa? You should have looked me up, man. Uh, I wouldn't been able to do anything anyway. I spent about half my day in Des Moines doing animal damage control jobs. Got a raccoon in an attic. Uh, a buddy of mine, and then while I was there, I got a call from somebody else in Des Moines to go check something out. So yeah, I don't blame you, Eric. Oh, cool, PA trapping. How's everything coming through tonight? I tried a little different internet connection. So how am I looking? Montana, how we doing, buddy? Your first spray to you, Brian? Oh, that's tough, man. That's tough. Looking forward to this Friday nights. Thanks for the kind words on the why do I love trapping. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got to stick together, guys. Um, every and that's something I get some grief, or some people like it and some people don't, that I go after numbers. But it doesn't matter if I see a picture of a guy with a 500 coyote season, or a guy that caught two beaver and a coon, and he's showing off for his first season. Awesome, congratulations. Even if that's your fifth season, that's all you want to catch and you're proud of it. Absolutely, I'm happy for you. uh it's just like I messaged, I can't think of what it was. It was a Facebook post. It's been a couple weeks ago. um I got on there. It was a younger kid, probably. I shouldn't say younger. He's probably close to my age now. Probably 25 or 30 years old, somewhere in that frame range. And he had like six finished coon laid out and a possum. And he was like, I'm happy with my second season. And there's a couple guys on there bashing him, like, you should do more than that for your second season. It's like, why? Why does he have to? Maybe that's just what he wants. It's just drives me crazy. Some people, but that's just me. Sorry, I got carried away, guys. Oh, season's over in PA. That's tough. Deer Slayer, what's up, buddy? SS, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Fuzzy face. Yeah, it's crazy. I just got this is 5 weeks now. So she grows back pretty quick. I can rock a really mean mustache, but if I get rid of this, I'm just about positive they wouldn't let me around schools. Hey, Dredger, that a boy. That a boy. Off the hook. What's up, my man? Justin, she's out with some of her girlfriends tonight. I don't expect to see her home much before probably 2 o'clock. She's had a rough week. She's doing coding in school right now, and she is really struggling with it. She's had a really rough week. She's actually been staying up later than me each night working on school stuff, which I don't go to bed till 11:30 midnight, so that's saying something. She's been a few drinks. Go for it. Not a problem. Hey, Blakely, what's up, buddy? Oh, is everybody having issues with it being fuzzy? Brian, what's the biggest difference between a muskrat and beaver besides the tail? Um, right now, this time of year, bud, it was probably a muskrat that you saw. Uh, the baby beaver, which would right now be right at close to a year old, they're still, you know, their bodies are probably still around that 10 to 12 pound range. Uh, versus muskrat, you know, it's only about yay big, give or take. Um, you wouldn't see any young beaver swimming out right now that'd be the size of a muskrat, or shouldn't. But I did catch one a few days ago. Ah man, it's fuzzy. That sucks, guys. I'm working on this. Hopefully, we get good internet one of these days. Only when I move like that. Jesse, I don't even want to talk about it. It's been rough. I've been working so much and trying to trap these beaver, and that uh, the water levels are just killing me right now. Just killing me. Hey, Michael, or Mike, I should say. Mike Showers. What's up, bud? Yeah, that's exactly how I look at it, Vet. It baffles me how some people think you have to have a certain number or something to be a good trapper, and that is the farthest from the case there could be. Some of the best trappers I know, when the fur market's up, they're hammering crazy numbers. But right now, they're just dabbing in it and having some fun and catching 10 or 12 critters and scratching that itch and moving on. Uh, doesn't mean that if they wanted to, they couldn't catch more. And for certain people that has a full time job and family, maybe they just want to catch 10 furs a year every year for the next 30 years, and they're happy with that. Props to them, absolutely. Just bothers me when people think that it has to be a certain number. Drives me crazy. Hey, fish on repeat. You caught your first beaver. That's awesome. I actually love the smell of castor. My wife hates it. Uh, but yeah, I love the smell of castor. Brian, if there's fresh trees cut down and you can tell they're fresh, they'll still be like yellow. They won't be white. There's beaver in there, but also remember a beaver, when you see its head, and you might see, like, if its head's here, you might see a little bit of its back, but 90% of that beaver's underwater. So it could have been a lot bigger than what you're thinking. Yeah, Justin. I'm probably gonna end up pulling most everything on Monday. Shad's lurking. I like that. Deer Slayer, you went live today? I'm sorry, buddy. I missed that. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have had time to if I'd have seen it, but I did miss that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jesse. Caster's not as terrible as everybody thinks. Everyone thought it was going to drop in price a lot, but it's not terrible. Country style. How we doing, bud? Cutting the pigeon trap. Now, there you go. Caster smells like barbecue chips. I've never heard that one, but I like it. Yeah, Mr. Somebody, and that's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. SJ Archer, that's awesome. That is awesome. Three Coon will definitely make a good hat, buddy. Yeah, absolutely, Eric. That's awesome, man. Spring beaver trapping it can be a rush. I mean, that is so fun. I really, really enjoy it. That's probably my favorite trapping now. Uh, my biggest regret so far this season is I didn't do enough homework. I didn't do enough scouting and prep work to really get the line out I wanted to. Yeah, Chris, and I get that 100%. The nuisance work pays a lot better for sure. Fish on trap, repeat. Well, it's don't get into the caster and then into your chew at the same time. Yeah, Mark, I'm kind of in the same boat, buddy. Hey, internet vet. Thank you, sir. Definitely not needed, but thank you. Yeah, I always joke about I was born in the wrong generation. Uh, I'd love to have been, in that trapping area in the 70s and 80s. I don't think I'd hold a candle to any of those guys that really hit it hard, but I would love to see what I could do when the pressure was on. How to out trap and outperform and just outmaneuver other trappers to compete for that high dollar fur. Uh, yeah, it's about money then and about catch as many as you can, but just the mental process that those guys have of having the edge or outsmarting not just the animal but other competition. That is something I'm very, very envious of. There's still several of those guys still around, and I love picking their brains and talking to them. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Justin, absolutely go for it, buddy. Um, I can't think of the exact place, but down in Southwest Iowa this year, they are doing kind of a kids trapping event. Not just for kids too, adults kind of get together, just talk trap, and just a little event going on down there. Justin will share the information on here whenever he gets to it. That's cool, Brian. That's cool. Either way, both of them are fun to trap, bud. Oh yeah, do it for hunting rights. Yep, I get that, Chris. And I've got something like that too. Like I just had one of my farmers message me a couple days ago. He texted me a picture of a couple otters in his pond that I got to go get. Probably try doing that here, hopefully next weekend if I get time. Just running out of time. Dredger, I'm not even sure how to do that, to be honest with you. I'm so technology illiterate, it's not even funny. It's pretty bad. Anyone that ever want to buy anything from me had to message me on Facebook or send me an email and work things out that way. But I appreciate it, man. Not necessary by any means, but um, yeah, I'm so computer illiterate that it's not even funny. Uh, if it wasn't for my wife showing me how to do this, I'd be in big trouble. Yeah, Eric, it is different. It is a little different, but once you get the hang of it, man, it's fun. Yeah, PA. It happens, and not saying rods wouldn't have done that by any means, but uh, I just prefer rods. It's just my preference, but everybody has something that works for them and things that don't work for them. And once you have confidence in something, I always encourage stick with what works for you, but don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. It seems like some people, they've got a system that works for them and something great comes out, some new product, and they just jump ship completely and just fully invest in that. And that's the wrong thing to do in my eyes. You could hit it out of the park, but more than likely you're probably going to lose your ass on it. That's why I'm very stick to my system and how I do things. But every now and then, if some new dog proof trap was to come out, yeah, I'd probably go buy a dozen or two traps and just try them. But I wouldn't just, get rid of all my stuff and jump ship to them. Uh, you just never know. Frank, you're not wrong, buddy. That's something my wife were having that conversation the other day. What if everything comes down to literally just survival and our government goes to crap and everybody's just trying to survive? And I said, well, if a guy knows how to snare for sure, I could have 30 deer tomorrow if I wanted to. We'll never go hungry, that's for sure. Brian, I think they do have trapping events over there. The Nebraska Trapper Association, I know they do. I'm just not sure when it is. I think it's in the fall as well. All right, here we go. Here's what Justin's got. June 4th, Lake Icaria, I believe. Everyone is welcome. Plan is every kid will get a trap or two. We're not sure what to expect. First one we've done. Just be a laid back event with a couple demos. Um, yeah, I mean, that sounds awesome. I'm planning on being there, assuming everything works out, but I'm not 100% sure. Chris, I'm at 43 right now, so far cry from where I want to be. Yeah, Mr. Somebody, I think it would be very tough. And I'm not saying that's how I'd rather do that than what I do now by any means. I just like to see what it was truly like. It's kind of like one of those things you don't know what it's like until you've been there. And honestly, I haven't been there. One of probably the main reason why I catch so many coon is because one, coon are everywhere and I have no competition. It's crazy. Oh, Chris, I want more easy traps too. Those were my favorite. I wish she wouldn't have gotten out of them, but I completely understand why she did. Overcast. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. You have a good night. Yeah, Eric, that's kind of the way I look at it. If you're using rods and cable both, the cable's a lot easier to carry in. Um, it's lighter, but you're gonna have tangles and kinks and stuff. Rods heavy to carry in, but they're not gonna tangle up. Um, and that's just kind of what I've leaned to. So, Frank, we're at 43. Tommy T, what's up, bud? 43 and Tommy T. Then we just got a bunch of snow the other day. We got like an inch and a half of snow at home. It's just been a mess. Ottercat, how we doing? Ottercat, did you see that mink I caught the other day? LTO, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Frank, I'm all right. I'm happy with it. I'm not upset. I'm just frustrated that the weather hasn't cooperated, which never does anyway, so I shouldn't be upset. But uh, it's just, I was hoping to have about 6 checks by now, and we're going to be doing check number 5. Yeah, Ottercat, that's because I didn't catch one. Yeah, Justin, that's why I spent part of my day in Des Moines chasing raccoons around the city. Matt, I did not chase any coyotes this year. I did a brief kind of failed attempt there at the last week or two. Very, very disappointing. Next year, I am going to target them because I didn't even set a foothold for them this year. I did experiment with the muskrat river coyotes, so kind of frustrating, but next year's going to be different. Used lynx urine. Interesting. Just jumping in, but long chains, beaver. Yeah, Brad. You definitely know about beaver trapping. Uh, my only problem was I'm only checking them like every 2 to 3 days, so I legally have to have them on drowners. But I do know a lot of the top beaver trappers in Iowa are using long chains. Yeah, Mr. Somebody, I'm sure. I'm sure. Frank, Mother Nature will always just kick my rear end every time. Colby, how we doing? Yeah, PA. When I use cables, I used to use cinder blocks, but you do not want to carry them suckers very far. Good luck tomorrow, Scab. Kind of curious how you end up, buddy. Vet, I wasn't around the '70s, but I do know that there was literally people that were shot and killed over trap lines. Pretty crazy. Yeah, Brad. If I had off the time for beaver trapping that I did in the fall, I honestly probably would run a lot more long chains and I'd hit it a lot harder. I don't have the time off, so I was checking it on Mondays and Fridays, and then trying to do it Wednesday evenings. And Mother Nature's definitely made this very difficult this year. Chris, the Easy Traps um, was actually the daughter of the guy that makes Z Traps. She spun off with her own Easies, which were pull only, basically a Z Trap but pull only. To me, phenomenal traps. And then, you know, she ended up getting married and having a couple kids, and just life got busy, so she stopped making them. Uh, really nice lady, really nice family. Just too much stuff going on, so something's got to give, and damn well not better not be your family. Yeah, I know a lot of people used to use wire too. Oh, AutoCAD is terrible. It's terrible. I was hoping to get some checks in today. Uh, so I went out last night, yesterday afternoon. I left for work a little early, thinking I'd check some of these cricks to see if the water dropped down. And most of my stuff's still 2 foot high, moving pretty quick. If you look at some of those videos, I'm already waist deep in water. In my opinion, Beaver waist high of water that's moving, at a crawl speed is fine. But you get waist deep in water that's moving, I'm going to say probably 5, 6 miles an hour. That can get dangerous real quick. Uh, so I've been staying out of the water right now. I was hoping to, after I checked them yesterday, I was hoping to be able to get in there today, and it just wasn't happening. I checked a few of my smaller creeks yesterday, but uh, nothing. Pretty much everything's on bigger waterways, so it takes a while for that water to come up, and then it'll take it a while for it to come down. So, oh, cool, Tommy T. Yeah, yeah, Steve, exactly. Yeah, Ruben. If I ever was to go to cable again, I would be probably setting and stuff shallow enough I could wade out and put a stake in the bottom. Carrying around 100 cinder blocks in my truck would be pretty miserable. Yep, exactly, PA. That's the thing. Fluctuating water's tough. Oh, scab. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Oh yeah, Brad. We've been seeing a lot of red rim beaver. I was actually just talking to Luke about that the other day when he rode with me. Um, I'd say at least 50% right now. I see. Chad is going to chime in now since Brad's talking. Uh, Brad the Beaver Master, and all of a sudden now Chad will talk. Had my buddy, not too far from me. He's probably about an hour north of me. Had a weasel run out in front of him today when he's driving home, so that's kind of cool. He's hoping to get uh, a video of it because he's filming this year, but he only had the GoPro and it's too far away. LTO, no, I'm at 43, so hoping to break 50 on Monday, but probably gonna have to be pulling the line on Monday. Not 100% sure on that yet. I might leave some stuff out close since we still got 2 weeks, but nothing but rain in the forecast, so it's looking pretty rough. Okay, Frank. Don't feel bad because this was a new term explained to me this year as well. Um, actually, by Brad and a couple other people that have been on here. So, red rim basically means right around the vent, the whole area is just red. It's like a deep, deep red. Um, from my understanding, they're using their caster so much, setting caster sets, making their caster mounds everywhere, and it just dyes the whole area for like a deep. I'm gonna call it a heart red. My wife would know the color of red, but I'm gonna call it heart red. Just a really deep, deep, almost blood red color. Scab called caster burn. I've never heard that. Brad, are you drinking right now? I gotta ask because last time you texted me and said, "Yeah, I drank too much and I let too much cats out of the bag." That's interesting, Montana. I've never heard it called caster burn, so that's kind of cool. Different parts of the state. But there's your answer, Frank. It was new to me too this year. I've never heard the term for it. Oh, Steve. Yeah, the current will help with that a lot too. Yes, I did, Chad. Um, and actually, that's something I learned from you and Brad this year as well. You can actually see, like, I don't know what the term was Brad used, but they'll, those beaver will get up in like the grasses and they'll knock down a bunch of that golden grass and it'll be just like red all the way around it. Um, where the beaver's coming up there and I don't know what exactly they're doing because they're not making a caster mound, but just like they're excreting it across a big area. Caster burn will dock your fur. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Chad, do you still have that video? I don't know. You sent it through Snapchat, so you might not. I know Chad doesn't have his own YouTube. Well, I don't think he has a YouTube account, I guess. Friday Bushlight. I get it, Brad. I get it, buddy. I appreciate you helping me out this year too, Brad. That's one thing that's kind of nice. I got a bunch of guys that I can pick their brains that, have been doing this a lot longer than I have, and they're kind enough to share their information and help me out as much as they can. Huh, that's interesting. Well, I'm gonna go mix another drink, fellas. I'll be right back. Forgot I left my room on the porch. Oh, that's too bad, Chad. You didn't save it. I get it though. Yeah, Brad. So, kind of, if you don't mind, what is that? When you start seeing that grass turn red, and kind of caster on it, is that the point when they're really starting to move, in your opinion, or have they been moving for a while? Is that towards the end of when you think they're moving hard? Chris, I'll tell you what, I have bought out several of those old time trappers, and it's bittersweet, you know. It's kind of cool to get traps from someone like that, but you almost wish they'd still be in it. Um, to see what those traps have seen is pretty cool. Oh, cool, Blake. At least you got an order, and that's awesome, man. Hmm. Yeah, put enough rum in that one. Ooh, Brian, good question. What's the most productive beaver set? Um, in my opinion on this, if you're going to catch a beaver, your first beaver, but not try to do like collect a lot of them, I think the den entrance set with a 330 is dynamite in my opinion. But that's my opinion. More of the tail end. Hmm. Pond Dams Outdoors. How we doing? Yeah, Eric, did you see some of that last couple days? Yeah, it's not. They'll do it. It seems like little. I don't know. I'll find grass. It's probably like the size of the hood of my truck, all laid down, and you'll just see that kind of red tint to it. That's beaver. And honestly, when Brad told me that, I was kind of like, really? I've never heard such a thing. But Matt Star probably is a bunch of long springs. That seemed to be the trap of the old timers for sure. Crossover. Yeah, that's good. Crossovers are good too. 330 in a run. Trap with Ralphie. What's up, bud? I seen you got a video up today. I haven't got to watch it though, man. Edward. Oh yeah, all's good here, buddy. Oh yeah, Brian, that's a good point. I should have said that. I think there's some states that you can't set too close to um a lodge, which a lot of the stuff we have here is bank dens, so we don't actually have lodges. Uh, I'm not sure how that defined in other states. If they just consider a lodge or if they bank dens, you'd have to set far away from too. Yeah, otter cat. Like if I'm doing animal damage control job, which is actually where I'm filming my next series. Um, so you want to be a trapper beaver series that you guys haven't seen any footage yet on my actual line of. Um, but I'm starting far away from the den as I can. I'm setting some blind sets, uh, some channel sets far away from the dam or the den, and I'm just now starting to move into the crossover and start set some caster mounds out. So um, that'll be coming up here pretty quick, like too. So okay, Brad, that makes sense then. You're probably right, Ruben. Really, that's yeah. It's crazy how certain parts of the country it's all bank dens, and then other places you have lodges. And where I'm trapping now, this pond is only like probably one of five lodges I've ever actually seen in my county. Frank, best method to catch a beaver without a non-target. Um, set a dive set in a channel. If that creek narrows down at all, find those pinch points where it forces the beaver into a certain area and put a dive stick over the top and whatever, either a snare or if you are allowed conibears in your state, 330. That's dynamite set in my opinion. Trout fishing tomorrow at 5:30. That's right. That was your title of it. Can't think of the first part, but ripping lips. You went straight to the den. Yeah. Chris. Yeah, some of these beaver get smart. They get really smart. You snip one or educate one, and you're in trouble. Yeah, PA, and that's what's funny. Like you go up north to like Wisconsin, or I think even northern Minnesota, and they've just got huts at every pond you drive past. Yeah, Chad, I'd kind of agree with that too. Um, the exception might be like a caster mound or a crossover if you've got blind set into the water, and if you're doing a front foot catch, you might have that issue. Hey, Todd, how we doing? Thanks for stopping in, bud. We're doing pretty good on my end. He's the skunk whisperer, as I call him. That man definitely can catch some skunks. I'm trying to, Ralphie. Not quite where I'd like to be right now, but I'm still catching them. Top secret beaver lure. Oh, Brad, I think you're drinking too much, man. It's not top secret if you post it on a channel with 54 people watching. But you definitely know how to catch beavers, so um, people should take note of that. Ew, Blakely's, yeah, that is early. Yeah, Frank, that's a tough situation. In my opinion, you need to tell him to keep his dogs inside, or not inside, but up by the house, at least for a week or so while you trap them. Oh, Ruben, two places, bank dens, nice. Yeah, Mister Somebody, that's true. Muskrats can build um, huts too, and sometimes they can actually use some pretty good sized sticks and stuff in there. I've seen. We do have a few muskrats that'll build lodges around here, but most of the time that's strictly vegetation. Versus beaver will have, I mean, they'll have logs out of theirs. But yeah, some people can confuse them. So thanks for pointing that out, Mister Somebody. Yeah, Brian, it's kind of cool seeing those old like huts that beaver are in. I got a pond I duck hunt on. The water level fluctuates a lot, and when it drops down, there's an old beaver den that lodge has been there since I can remember, and I've been duck hunting it for 20 years now. I think otter use it when they're coming through, but other than that, every time that water drops down, the hole's big enough in it, I could crawl into it. I think it'd be awesome to see the inside of a beaver den. I'm just not, I just don't have the cojones to see what it looks like. Kansas, yeah, that's a good way to catch them too, for sure. If you're trying to eliminate them, in my opinion, breaking the dam would be one of my last approaches. But that's just me. But if you're just trying to catch one or two, that's absolutely awesome. Brad, you're absolutely right, man. I appreciate you passing on any information you can. Uh, Brad's definitely he's definitely one of the top five people I reach out to when I need information about especially beaver trapping because that man's done a lot of it. Oh, cool, Ralphie. That's awesome. Good job. Chad. Oh, that's funny. Really, Tommy? That's interesting. I didn't know it was divided kind of in western eastern with the lodges. I figured it'd be a northern southern thing. Fish hunt trap repeat. I would say no, in my opinion. I don't know this, but I do think a group of otters could definitely run maybe a breeding pair of beavers out of their dam or their den. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. I'll tell you what, Brad. You come on down here some night and I'll cook you up a bunch of ribeyes, all you can eat, and as many bush lattes as you need, as long as you let me record our conversation. How about that? And too many candy bars, yeah. Yeah. Part of the payment for helping my buddy with that raccoon in his attic today was Reese's eggs. And I'm like, I just started my diet today. So we're gonna start that tomorrow now. Um, Actually, probably the next day because I bought some more eggs too. So it'll be a little bit. This dog is so demanding. Yeah, Chad, your girl's at my place, so both of you come on down. Come on up here. Other side. Come here. Dixie. Come on. You want in here too? Really, Tommy? Interesting. Danny. Beaver is great. I'll tell you what. I've been trying to save a little bit of our beaver meat because I do love, especially the back straps out of a beaver. Um, but with my checks I've been doing, they've been so long in between. I don't risk a whole lot of it. Sitting on the bottom there for 5 or 6 days, even though it's only 45 to 50 degrees outside, makes me nervous. But I do love muskrat. Muskrat tastes amazing. Huh, Brian, that's interesting. I do have a little bit of beaver, Brad. I'll throw it on the grill for you. I must have bored her now. She's gone. Hey, an Arkansas trapper. How we doing? Welcome to YouTube, my friend. Uh, Basically, these live chats, we sit here and talk trapping, and a lot of conversation and information is shared amongst the chat with you guys, and occasionally I'll chime in with some intermediate advice or knowledge, I guess. But yeah, beaver is good eating. I love eating beaver. All right, yep, said that. Hey, CJ, how we doing? Ah, that sucks, Ralphie. Yeah, that's tough. I get it though. Raised outdoors, Arkansas. How we doing? Well, we got a couple Arkansas boys here, side by side. Um, yeah, I know a lot. There's people are starting to catch fish around here pretty good too, and I'm not a huge fisherman, but I'm gonna do some of that on my channel. But yeah, I'm about ready to wrap it up for the year. Eric, uh, yeah, I had fun in the single days. Let's just say that. There we go, guys. Mark shared Arkansas Trappers channel on here. I'm gonna check that out too because that's a new one. I have not seen your channel in Arkansas Trapper. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, Chad, the walleye we're biting. And Arkansas Trapper. Got a new sub here, buddy. I'll check you out here next couple days, buddy. Yeah, Brian. A lot. My lives are filled with a lot of people that know what they're doing in the chat. That's one thing I love seeing is everybody helping each other out. It's pretty awesome. Dixie, stop. Yeah, Arkansas Trapper, you're doing pretty good. I see 327 for subs. That's pretty good, bud. Especially for your just starting it here in the 1st of January. That's pretty awesome. Raised outdoors. Yeah, man. I put my foot in my mouth a lot. Yeah, definitely keep the foot off the or the glands off the meat. Judith and Dan, how we doing? I was just watching your video here a little bit ago. Um, when my daughter was brushing her teeth, I caught part of it. Hey, you're in the perfect audience there, Arkansas Trapper. I am terrible with technology. Yeah, sounds good, Vet. I look forward to seeing what he's got on there. Blakely's. Yeah, Scab shared Trapping with Ralphie's channel. Check that out. He's going trout fishing. Sorry, trout fishing tomorrow morning. That should be pretty good. Should be pretty entertaining. I've yet to go trout fishing. I'm hoping to sometime, but hopefully, eventually I get to. No, absolutely, Arkansas Trapper. You're more than welcome in these lives anytime. They're pretty fun. I was pretty nervous the first time I did it. Really nervous, but they're fun. Just seeing everybody interact, get talk trapping, sometimes talk about life, past experiences, just a little bit of everything. It's a good time. Well, Ottercat, unfortunately, I don't know this for sure, but I may not even get the opportunity to catch my gray fox. It sounds like they're going to be taking them off the legal harvest here in Iowa. Potentially, I don't know that, but I know the DNR is considering it. Southeastern Beaver Master, Judith and Dan Davis. Yeah, there you go, Scab. I appreciate you sharing people's channels on here, bud. Eric, so I was gonna initially say no, but I want to. This is mostly probably aimed at Brad on here. I have noticed as I skin these beaver, it seems like on the inside of the thigh, you got the glands here, but like right in here, there's appears to be like little glands on the inside, almost by the knee. Um, I've never seen anything like that before, so I'm curious. But every single one of them has it, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, CJ, we'll stay away from that. All right, Ralphie. Good luck tomorrow, buddy. Looking forward to seeing that some trout fishing videos coming up. Yeah, Arkansas Trapper. We get kind of a bad name from a lot of what I call the top trappers. Um, Kind of the old school generation that hates technology, hates everything about YouTube and sharing ideas. But really, there is a lot of knowledge on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, there can be a lot of misleading things, and not just trapping, that's just life in general. Um, there can be a lot of stuff that's not the greatest, but there's a lot of stuff that's on here that's pretty damn good too. They just don't see that. But yeah, we're a good community. We all share and help each other out. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Brad, I'm curious what that is. And can that be used in any bait or lure formulation? Yeah, PA, this dog, we trim him like once a month, but Dixie. That dog's like a bull in the china shop, I swear. Mark, you're not far off from me, buddy. I'm about the same boat as you are, man. I feel kind of bad, like talking to some of these guys that They're so technology savvy, and they'll try to give me advice on stuff, and I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Seriously, you've been on YouTube for 2 years now and you don't know what this is?" I'm like, "Not a clue. Not a clue." You muted your mother-in-law? Ah, you're better the man than me. I'd probably just deleted her if I had issues like that. We're all learning, guys. Every one of us is learning. Um, there's no trapper that knows everything. There's no person that knows everything about any subject, period. Danny, I do not believe so, but don't quote me on that. I know squirrels and mice are the biggest chewer of deer antlers around here. Lima beans in the legs. Huh. You know when you shoot a duck in your decoy. I'm lost, Matt. What are you talking about, buddy? Oh, I got you now. That's cool, Arkansas. That's cool, buddy. I'm gonna check this out later. Brad, you might be an exception. You might be the one person that knows about everything on Beaver. You've caught probably more beaver in a day than I can catch in a season. Raised outdoors, Arkansas. Yeah. I'll tell you what. So first time I did a live was out in my shop, and like I planned this out. I tried 3 times. My wife was nice enough. She wrote things that we taped along the wall ahead of me for if things get slow or bored, things I can talk about, so I don't just sit here and look like a fool. And here I am, a year and a half later, still looking like a fool. So it's all right. PC, you're at a church thing, but you hurt your lip, so can't really do anything. What happened, buddy? No, I'm glad to see you on here. It's been a while since I seen you, man. I've heard that name, Blakely's, but I do not know him. Oh, there you go, Scab. Yeah, thanks. Share LTO's channel as well. Good to see you're still up and around, PC. You take care, buddy. Been seeing a lot of Facebook bashing about YouTubers here recently too. That's just too bad. Just some people don't care to understand kind of the new way of teaching, I guess. Um, I guess that's how I look at it. Uh, when I get kind of bashed for being on YouTube and being someone that just is trying to be popular or whatever else or be known, no, that's not it. If you want to help teach our kids anything anymore, majority of our kids are on YouTube, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. If you have a 13 to 15-year-old that says, they don't know what YouTube is, they're probably lying because they're on here. Uh, and that's where we're finding our youth. We've got to go to them because there's not many of them coming to conventions all on their own anymore. There's not a trapper in every family that's you don't have an uncle that trap for a living or a dad that trap for a living to pass it down. we're not around anymore. So it's a lot harder for us to find people and get them to understand things. Ruben, we go till April 15th here. I might be pulling on Monday, just depends how it goes. Hey Ed, how we doing? Yeah, my goal is 100, but I will not be hitting that, almost guaranteed. Um, I'm at 43 right now. I was hoping to have a lot more checks in by now, but those water levels have just killed my line, and I haven't been able to check because of flooding. I'm still legal because everything's drowned on drowning the system, but uh, thank you. I appreciate it for the kind words on hitting my coon goal. That felt good, especially after failing miserably last year. I was pretty disappointed, especially since I labeled every video 1,000 coon season and we didn't hit it. It's pretty embarrassing, but oh well. Brad, how many stops? I am at 23 locations and I've had 4 stops. So I'm not upset about what I've got. Um, like, how do I explain it? Because I've got out 43 traps, something like that. Yeah, 45 traps now, maybe. I'm under 50 traps. So even if you said 50 traps, potential of 200 beaver, and I've caught 43, I'm okay with that. It's not great odds, but for me being a beginner myself at beaver trapping, spring beaver trapping, I'm happy with it. Yeah, Brian, that's awesome. There's so much knowledge on here. Dixie, that dog. Mark, yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's different world now. It is a different world. Yeah, Frank, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Dixie. If this dog wakes my daughter up, I'm gonna be mad. Dixie. All right, Arkansas. Yeah, go for it, buddy. Share him. Raised outdoors, really? That's crazy. Brad, when you say K, that makes me concerned. Is it that poor of odds? Uh, I was all right with, we're in about 40 some sets, and I've averaged, well, a little less than 10 beaver, a little more than 10 beaver, I guess, each check. So basically a 25% catch rate. You closed out by drowning your phone. That sucks, man. That's terrible. Actually, Matt, that's what's funny. Her legal name was Beaver's Whistling Dixie. When I thought she could be an actual hunting dog, and she's got a good bloodline behind her uh, to make her. We're planning on breeding her and everything else, but then she just kind of became a. My wife thought it was too cold for her to be an outside dog, and then she became a couch potato and pretty much a worthless mutt after that, in my opinion. But yeah, what do you do? Hey, David, how we doing? Yeah, Judith and Dan, you're pretty much right anymore. Especially in kind of a live setting. There's not a whole lot of that going on anymore. Nah, she's never happy, Ruben. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. She's a family dog now, but man, I had big plans for her, and I just did not work out. My dad raised bird dogs Um, I wouldn't say for a living, but it was damn close when I was a kid. So at one time we had like 32 bird dogs that we were training from all across the country. So it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I did not spend a lot of my youth inside. Let's just say that we had to work dogs almost every night, rotate through them. Eric, that's pretty good. I would be very happy with that. Kind of like what we talked about on the phone a little bit ago. Uh, Actually, this would be a very good place to ask your question again. Um, if you're comfortable with me saying it on here, I'd go ahead and share it on here. I have no problem saying it if you're good with it. See, I hadn't finished out dance video yet. I got through about half of it with my daughter, but I haven't finished it yet. Yeah, Ruben, you definitely did. All right, guys. So my buddy Eric called me today, and he's setting for a front foot catch on drowners. I'm not sure on your trap size. If I remember right, you're running what threes? Don't quote me on that. But anyway, he's setting front foot catch, and he caught three beaver today by the back foot, and had a couple toes and two other traps. How could he maximize his potential for a front foot catch? He's cutting V's into the bank. It sounds like some of them, the water levels here and the bank kind of goes up quite a ways before it hits the bank. From my understanding, what we talked about, he was setting in about 4 inches of water. I suggested moving it to even shallower, and depends a lot on that bank angle. But I want to know what you guys' thoughts are, especially if Brad or Chad can weigh in on this. They may be able to help out pretty good on this. I don't know much about going after front foot, so I helped with what I could, but I primarily go after the back foot, and I mean I'm underwater. Oh, you're good, deer slayer. Oh, you're using the 550s, Eric. Okay, thank you, Chris. 2 inches of water. Ottercat says he's under 4 inches there. Hey, Michael, how we doing, bud? Yeah, and that's Tommy T. That's something too. You could do a chest bump. I know Dale Billingsley's setup is a big chest bump, which is what Chad just said. Berm of dirt to make the beaver plant his feet. Uh, that's very good too. Um, Something I'm not familiar with because it's not what I do. I'm mostly rear foot, so I'm getting. It's all about. I don't even know how to do this, guys. Explain this. So, say your bank goes up like that, and here's your water level. Use your head of where that when that beaver's swimming up. At what point is he going to feel ground and put his feet down? If that bank goes up like this, he's gonna run into the bank and then put his feet down, and probably only his front feet are gonna touch the ground. But if you got a bank, bear with my angles, that's like this, he's gonna hit his chest about right here, and his front feet are gonna be here, and his back feet will probably still touch ground back here. So you I know we've talked about with to Dave with this a lot, Chad, on ITT, but there's no, in my opinion, no right placement from the water line to be back with a trap. It's all about your depth and angle and where that beaver is going to swim and hit that. If you walk up, if you're swimming in a pool, you come up to the bank and you're touching the sides and then you can put your feet down. But if you're swimming in a pond, your feet, you can walk 6 feet out of that pond. And that's my opinion on it. It's complicated to explain. I hope that kind of makes sense, but it's difficult. Yeah, Michael, your first beaver looks good, bud. You put it up well. I'm very impressed. I'll tell you what, Brad. Some Friday, you just need to come down here. I'll supply all your bush lattes, and you do a live with me. How about that? I haven't had a celebrity host yet, so I'd be honored to have you come down here sometime. See, Ruben, here's my philosophy on that, and I could be completely wrong on this, but my thoughts while I was telling Eric, if you're on a steep bank and you're setting 4 inches out, especially if you got that lure up high, he's coming in looking up, and he might actually put his front feet on the bank and is trying to stand up. So his front feet never even go in the water; they just touch the bank, and he'd kind of climb. And I could be completely wrong, but that's my opinion. Yeah, Eric, that's something we didn't talk about too. That Brad and Chad both mentioned. You will have more non-targets as far as coon go in those sets. All right, an Arkansas trapper. I'm gonna check that out. Probably be tomorrow or Sunday, but I'll give it a look, bud. Michael Grant, I don't wipe a beaver off until I'm taking it off the board. But that's me. Um, I've got enough boards that well, actually beaver I don't now, especially since I got a little more beaver this year. But until I'm taking something off the board, I'm not wiping it down. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, raised outdoors, Arkansas, absolutely. There's a lot of variables in that. Brad, look for the right bank, deep water. All right, Brian, you take care. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Good luck, man. It's already 10:45. Man, I got on here late. Most beavers work the set downwind, water, or land. I've heard that, Brad, in a sense that a beaver will always approach a set from downstream. Um, and it seems to actually be kind of true for me how I've set my lineup. It seems to be pretty tested, but curious on your opinion. Upset Bowl 69. I'm not 100% sure yet. Uh, there's been a couple things mentioned they might look into, but nothing set in stone yet. Oh no, raised outdoors, absolutely not. I gotta take my daughter to a class tomorrow morning at 9. Um, then I got some other stuff going on in the afternoon. So, Chad, I'm not gonna tell you when he's sitting in because the only time you come in here and talk is when Brad's in here. So, no, I'm not gonna tell you. I'll tell you. Jeff, how we doing? Eric, if it was just me, I mean, a 550 is kind of small for a rear wheel catch. My opinion on it, anyway. But if you really want to get into beaver trapping hard, my advice would be next year to look into a little bit bigger traps and go for a rear wheel. I'm not going to talk about non targets on here, but I will say that I have caught drastically lot less non targets this year than almost everybody that I know of. But I'm setting back and deep a lot more than people think. You look at some of my sets and I'm bedding that trap and I'm this deep in water. I'm a solid 10 inches underwater a lot of the times, at least 8 inches. All right, Brad, you take care, buddy. Must have had that last bush latte too much. So, all right. Thanks, man. Appreciate your advice on here. You take care, buddy. Hustles and hobbies. Who would buy wild caught mice? I really don't know the answer to that. I Otter cat, I think that happens a lot more than people think when they're like going to fix the dam. They get that debris in their front and they just kind of walk up there with their back legs and just kind of, push it on there. But I could be wrong too. Oh yeah, Eric. Most of my stuff, um, I'm always trying to set and kind of play the wind as much as I can. I would switch that from 160 to 220s for your buckets, Michael, if you can. I just got to flip your crap, Chad. Yeah, exactly, and that makes complete sense, Eric. You dealt with the hand that you're given. If what you have to work with is smaller gear, yeah, set for a front foot, and it'll work. I've caught and held 50-pound beaver in a Duke 1.5. Is it recommended? Absolutely not. But there's no rules of what you have to have. Jeff, you grew up teaching Tom Warlock. Yeah, Chris, you do. I'd agree with that, but at the same time, you do have a lot more issues with non-targets. Next gen's in here. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. I seen him post now. Yeah, I got to. He got to ride with me for a little bit yesterday when I was checking my water levels. That's pretty disappointing. I've learned that he's very bad luck and never take him trapping again, ever. Yeah, Chad, you do have that video on here. Did I? I don't think it was me that ended up posting it for you. Was it somebody else? But yeah, he got to watch himself catch a beaver in a TS-85 in the middle of the day. That's pretty cool. Really, Ruben, that's interesting. Yeah, Ottercat, I think you'd have issues with that. See, Dan, I actually don't do that. Mine are very, very subtle because I do have some theft on my line. Matter of fact, I did just have, I found out a couple days ago, I did have two TS-85s and drowning rods yanked out of a creek. So that hurt a little bit. You're probably looking at about 80 bucks with everything, but part of it. I got a micro grant. In my opinion, I'd still probably do the 220s, but that's just me. Oh, okay, Jeff. Now I know what you're talking about. Next gen. Oh, that's great, buddy. That's awesome. Uh, Hopefully she knows I was just messing with you. Man, that's funny. No, hopefully she subscribed to my channel. I just can't believe you're going to go after 3,000 coon next year. That's insane. Oh, I'm going to get you in so much trouble. You're going to hate me in a month. Dan could catch a beaver in his bathtub. Whoa, that could go two different ways. Tom Morlock. Yeah, I know who Tom Morlock is, Jeff. Yeah. I take it back. I don't know him personally, but I've definitely heard about him a lot. Dan, I was going to ask about that. I might ask that on here. Um, So I've got a bunch. I inherited kind of a bunch of PVC pipes with the elbow on them for coon sets in the crick system. I really thought about sticking some of them on the bank with caster in them and seeing how they worked. Uh, it might be draw a little bit of unwanted attention, but in the spring, I wouldn't think it'd be too terrible. Dixie, this dog's driving me crazy. Yep, I would agree, Chad. A lot of misses. So if you got a flat bank, just a bank that's just rolling like this the whole way, when they hit that, smell that caster, a lot of times they'll come up on the bank anywhere and they'll walk to your set until they find it. Then they'll, do their remake over it and then slide off into the water. Chances are right over your trap. You catch them by the tail or slap their tail and they'll pull the slide down to the drowner. Um, and then you don't have anything in it. I think that happens a lot more than people think too. Frank, that's a good point at Husker and Hobbies. A lot of lure makers and stuff buy wild caught mice, but that's about the extent of I would know. In my opinion, Michael Grant, I peeling two sticks might catch more of an eye appeal. Um, I've never done that really. I'm literally just taking a stick, dipping it, and putting it in the. Man, I've had too much. Right on top of the bank there, and it works pretty good. Well, this is only like half-inch PVC, Matt. So I've heard a lot about that. Seems like a lot of guys like the long chains. Yeah, otter cat. You're right, 100%. Yeah, Ruben. And that's the thing. Like with my sets, when I did my last check, I had about 2 nights to catch beaver, and then they're so deep in water. Um, it's just they're swimming right over everything. Even if the caster is still up on the stick for some reason, you're not going to catch anything. That's pretty impressive, Jeff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, next gen. That's too bad, buddy. He's filming today, and his SD card basically exploded. The way it sounds, and he lost all his video from today. So that's too bad, man. At least it wasn't your air. Things happen. Last year, when I filmed my very first day, and we caught 132 coon on opening day, I had no footage of it because I was shutting the camera off too fast because I was in a hurry. You had to wait for it to beep at you to save footage. You want to talk about disappointing? So it could be worse, buddy. But um, sorry to hear that, man. Oh, raised outdoors. That's too bad, buddy. Tell you what, if I catch it up here, though, it covered some ground. Yeah, Chad, I think that's possible too. You just peel the sticks and you can catch beaver with them too. I don't think it has to be lure. Just it makes me feel better about it. Huh? That's interesting, Frank. I've never heard of that. Yeah, Scab, you're probably right. You're probably right. They end up on the bottom somewhere. In Arkansas Trapper, you're on Facebook. Interesting. Try new things and have fun with it, man. You never know. You never know. This dog's driving me crazy. Chad, it better not be raining here now. Hopefully, it's just raining up where you're at. I mean, I was just outside, but I don't think we're supposed to get anything for a couple days yet. Oh no, rain at 1:15 a.m. Perfect. It's gonna rain all the way till tomorrow morning. Great. Hey Logan, how we doing, bud? Perfect, Justin. Me too. So it works out good, buddy. Yeah, Michael, I just realized that we're gonna get a little more rain than I thought, though. Raised outdoors. I wonder if you had a little two-legged assistance on that. Exactly, Scab. Exactly. Find something that works for you. Eric, it's gonna snow here. Don't say that. Yeah, of course you do. Next gen. I see how it is. I see how it is. You take care, buddy. Logan's going trout fishing too. Man, we got all kinds of trout fishermen in here. Yeah, Michael, we got hit with that snow. I'm sure you did over there too. A couple days ago, and man, it was terrible. Huh? That's interesting. Raised outdoors. Marks over half. So I started trapping Ruben with strictly 330s. I thought that was the cat's meow when I was learning how to trap. I tried a few footholds, shallow like I would for coon. Terrible results. Always had snapped off traps, nothing, never caught anything. And I mean, I tried for a while. I probably had a half dozen traps out for a total of 20 days, probably across 2 or 3 seasons. So I wouldn't say I put a lot of effort into it, but I tried. Never worked. Very disappointed. I was so sad, miserable. Footholds suck. I'll never catch beaver in footholds. So here a couple years ago, I tried it again, and I learned a lot from YouTube and a lot of my DVDs that I have, probably primarily my DVDs, uh, and I learned so much from them. Um, and as well as I'm in some Snapchat groups and Facebook. Facebook was huge. I learned a lot of stuff from people like that, and yeah, now I swear by footholds. I'll still use some 330s, and like I said, I've got some 330 footage coming up here on my new Beaver channel that I'm not channel, but series that I'm making. So excited for that one too. Uh, but yeah, 330s have their place just like anything else. Yeah, Chad, exactly. I'm more of a blind set for conibears. I'm glad you get back into it, Eric. I'm glad you got back, bud. Oh, cool, Michael. You got your electric winch. That say what a skinning machine is the huge difference. Huge. Yeah, Justin. I'm sure you got a lot of turtles down there in Tennessee. Ah, raced outdoors. That's interesting. Yeah, Scab. We don't have a whole lot of little setups around here, but that's definitely a deadly one if we can find it. See, Dan, I noticed in your video today, you can have exposed 330s. Here in Iowa, we cannot. We cannot have any 330, any part of it, springs, nothing exposed. Oh, quit whining. Yeah, otter cat. It does depend on your area. Fish hunt trap repeat. I do love my 330s in the den entrance. Actually, just filmed a little bit of that a couple days ago. But in my opinion, you're only going to catch one or two, and the rest of the colony is going to get smart on you. Oh yeah, Justin, real good eating. I bet you did, Eric. I bet you did. All right, Michael. Good luck finishing out the rest of your beaver, and I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Yeah, not us, Dan. They got to be fully submerged. It's pretty tough. Hence why all mine are blind sets, just like Chad said. Really, Justin, that's crazy. One thing that's pretty cool. My buddy here, actually in the town that I live in, he caught right at an 80-pound beaver. Uh, crazy, crazy big. I've never caught anything that big by any means, but I got to see pictures of that. And he's a big boy. He's about my size, and that beaver makes him look small. That thing was huge. This dog's like a bull in a china shop. She can't be quiet. Lay down. Come here. Yeah, Eric, I'm curious to see what you got there, buddy. Yeah, fish on trap repeat. I get that 100%. That was me only a couple years ago. I won't ever tell you, you know, footholds work better by any means, but don't be afraid to try them again. You know, maybe take some time and you know, it took me a while to come around to trying them again, but don't dismiss them completely. Uh, and it's hard to do because you know it's just like that Chevy Ford thing I always refer to. Once you get a bad taste of it in your mouth, that footholds don't work. They're not going to work for you, and just you got it in your head. And I'm used to be very guilty of that, but you know, in a couple years, give it another shot. You never know what you'll turn out. Scab, I might have to try that. She actually just laid down, but my boy's walking around upstairs, so she'll probably get up and move. Raised outdoors. Oh my. Wow. Oh, you guys are crazy. Yeah, Justin, I'd agree with that. But I understand exactly where he's coming from. Of had bad results or a bad instance, and it just didn't work out. Ottercat, it's turkey season there already. That's ridiculous. I hope you see like 30 mink and you can't catch a single one of them. Yeah, Frank, I can imagine that. I can definitely see that. Justin, I ain't seen Boxy tonight. Um, I normally I don't see him on my later stuff. So wow, turkey season's opening up all across the South. Apparently, I got to watch the rest of Dan's video because everyone's talking about all his catches and stuff. And I watched the first part where he had a bunch of dam breaks empty with 330s, and I never got to see anything caught. So I better catch up on that. Oh yeah, absolutely fish hunt, for sure. I love doing these lives. Seeing the connection you guys are making. We have so much fun. It's fun. I love doing this stuff. What is it, Justin? You got me intrigued. Tell me. Yeah, Ruben, and that's the thing. You might just get to that point where you had faith in the 330s now. I'm just saying, don't discard the footholds completely. I bet you'd be surprised at what they do. But it takes a little fine tuning of figuring out the exact placement for the trap for the beaver. It can be difficult. Oh, showcase. I see what you're saying now, Justin. Boy, I've drank too much. Chad, we don't even worry about morel mushroom hunting anymore. That's a thing of the past. You got to get with the oysters. The oysters are where it's at. Oyster mushrooms are amazing. I will never chase another morel mushroom ever again. Raised outdoors, you better have the biggest puppy dog eyes ever. We're not going to have a foothold in 330 argument, fellas. Both of them definitely have their place, though. Oh, Eric, man, I'll tell you what. Once I start finding these oysters, I will never look for morel mushroom ever again. Anybody want a German short hair? She's worthless. Doesn't even have a job. Her tail wags nonstop, though. Hey, Hunt Ready, how we doing, bud? Not that kind of oyster, Justin. How'd I know you're going there? Ah, I loved morels, Eric. I did until I found these oysters, and I'll never look back. Hey, Nikki, how we doing? Just had second agency job, Fox rating a hen house. My first question would be to make sure it's Fox. Are you 100% sure that's what it is? Um, you can tell a lot, are the chickens completely gone, which would lean more towards a coyote or a fox for sure. Are they dead in the pen, which would make me think more of a weasel mink type situation? Uh, if it's a fox, you could set a blind set right along the edge of the cage where they're gonna be running back and forth. There's a lot of situations there. Yeah, that's interesting, Ruben. No, Justin, she's definitely a freeloader. She was gonna be my great hunting dog. Hey, I about got to watch you mess up. But then the wife pretty much made her a worthless house dog that, yeah, I have my opinions on. Let's just say if it wasn't for my wife and kids liking this thing, you wouldn't be here. But I grew up with dogs as a tool. They weren't a friend type situation. So yeah, true, Chad. Oyster mushrooms are everywhere. Justin, they grow on trees. Most common around here is the elm oysters. They're really, really good. Nice, Gab. What? Oysters are amazing. Don't give pukey faces. Yeah, Justin, she's a beautiful dog. That's why I picked her out and spent a lot of money on her, but that's too bad. Okay, Nikki, yeah, you're probably dealing with a fox then. Uh, yeah, I'd probably be blind setting like some one and a halves or number twos along the side of that. I'm assuming they're in a pen. I could be wrong, but if they're not in a pen, they're free range. That's gonna make it pretty difficult. No, no, Mister Somebody, it just wants to go to bed. She's spoiled and sleeps in my wife's room. Logan, we're at 43. Uh, I'm disappointed where I'm at as far as since I started trapping, but for the number of checks I've had, I'm okay with that. But I was hoping to have like 7 checks in by now, and we're at 4. That's what's disappointing. Adventure of James, how we doing, buddy? This water coming up just killed my line. That's the worst thing about trapping these creek systems is all of a sudden you get a good rain, and we didn't even have really big rains, but just you know 3/4 of an inch over half a day, and these creeks come up. These bigger systems that I'm on, they're coming up. They're not coming up the next day, but 2 days later, all of a sudden they're 3 to 5 feet high, and it takes 4 days for it to come back down. Pretty miserable. Yeah, Justin said you could throw some baited dirt holes in by the coop, which would work too. Assuming there's a coop. They're gonna walk that perimeter around the whole time, so that'd be a good thing to check out. Who's adapting and overcoming possum? Really, you need a bed that bad? Don't look at me like that. I know it's not comfy down here. Ah, you're all right, Pond Dams. All right, I'm tired of hearing you whine. What are you guys doing? I don't even understand. These dogs are crazy. Adapt and overcome, possum. Yeah, and I've got a lot of learning to do on that. It's something I definitely need to do. Uh, Something I'm going to look into this summer is rigging up like a floating drowner setup. I'm not sure how that'll work, but I want to figure this out. That's funny, Justin. Oh, shoot. Really, Eric? That is funny. Chad, I remember seeing you post something about that. I don't know if it's Snapchat or what it was, but I remember seeing something about that. All right, Mark, you be careful. Tell the missus hi for us, and you take care, bud. Be careful. Your short week. That's good. I love the short weeks. For Beaver, Scab, I want to work on something where I can have like a floating set with a foothold on it attached to a drowner somehow. Um, that can go up and down with the water and catch these beaver with fluctuating water. Ruben, nope. All my stuff's still out. So, for the second time now, Dale Billingsley's messaged me and go. He's like, "Yeah, I'll probably reset after this rain." What rain? Apparently, I definitely need to pay a lot more attention to the weather forecast. Definitely a note to make for beaver season for next year. Oh yeah, Justin, absolutely. So Sunday Boxy's gonna air some clips from your channel. That's pretty awesome, man. Frank, hopefully for Beaver. I'm gonna have to check that out, Mark. I have not seen that. James, that's crazy. Eric, yeah, they're still up. They've been coming down since I'm gonna say probably sometime in the morning on Thursday. But they're still probably yesterday they were still up probably about a foot and a half, 2 feet. And still moving pretty good. So they probably come down to normal now, but we're getting a little rain tonight, so who knows? That's awesome, James. Go figure. Right after you pulled all your sets. I got you, Justin. Yeah, that'd be worth a try. All right, guys, we're probably gonna jet out of here. I've been doing a lot shorter lives here recently, but I've been starting later, so I got an early morning. Not even sure when the wife's gonna be home. I don't expect her home for a couple hours yet anyway. Yeah, Chad, you're probably right. You probably are right. I don't know. Like I said, I got things to work on, things I want to try. Oh, James, ours are terrible because I'm on the bigger systems. Absolutely, Arkansas Trapper. Thanks for coming in. Um, welcome to the party. It's kind of fun. So, no, Justin, I got my daughter's got an appointment tomorrow morning fairly early. So, I really, Nikki, I'm not sure brackets. I don't really have brackets. The Hags drowning system works good. It's just kind of a circle piece with an angle on it. Those work pretty good for rebar. Mine's actually just a square tube. This is a square, kind of with a bent angle piece on it. Same exact concept. Works good too. Oh, pond dams. Well, good luck on your garden tomorrow, man. That's awesome. See a deer slayer. Yeah, we don't. It gets pretty crazy around here. I'll tell you what, if I should film that sometime. If we get like 2 inches of rain in a few hours, give it about 12 to 16 hours, and our creek systems are up. The big ones, 15 feet, and just raging white water. I mean, it gets bad. Oh, Jeff, that's too bad, man. That's too bad. Yeah, Justin, that's kind of what I'm doing. Yeah, Chad, and I think that's what you're talking about with the floaties, and I've seen somebody post that before, but it might have been you too. I'm not even sure, but I need to do something so I can make sure it's an extended check. And legally, snares above water cannot be an extended check. But otherwise, yes, that would be awesome. Scab, yeah, tides would suck. Yeah, James, we get our snow melt. When we get our snow melt rushing those creeks, that's when I'm starting beaver trapping. Really, Justin? I have not seen that. Dixie, what are you doing? Hmm, this dog needs to go to bed. It's driving me crazy. All right, guys. So I appreciate y'all stopping in. We're gonna get out here tonight. Uh, Kind of disappointed with my beaver season. It's not going the way I wanted to. Um, Always hope for more. I'm always pushing and striving to do better. This is only my second year actually spring beaver trapping stuff that's not private ground on a dam colony setup, just going out finding cricks and setting beaver traps. So I'm happy with it. I need one more beaver to break my record, which I don't think will be a problem, but uh, I'm gonna get there. At least break 50. We'll see what the future holds. Oh, I will, Ottercat, and I appreciate it. Yeah, Jeff, exactly. Oh, Reef Robber, you're getting in right as we're bailing out of here, man. I'm sorry. Uh, Been a long day, and I got an early morning, so we're gonna kind of jet out of here. Yeah, Justin, I think that's my biggest problem with this beaver line is I was not prepared like I needed to be. I always preach do your homework, plan ahead, come up with a plan, a system. And this beaver trap is on my second year of it, so I was not real prepared for it. Next year, though, cross your fingers. I'm a lot more prepared for it. Hopefully, have some 20, 25, maybe even a 30 beaver day. Have to hire a skinner for my spring beaver too, which would be all right. But Yeah, Reef Robert, I appreciate you stopping in, man. I feel bad we're bailing out on you, but it was fun, guys. I appreciate it. Go out there, have fun, and keep trapping, guys. That's all we can do. Yeah, Eric, you can't play with Mother Nature. We'll always lose. We'll always lose with Mother Nature. So take care, guys, and I got some good stuff coming down the line. Pretty excited about my what's going to be the say you want to be a trapper Beaver edition. That's going to be coming out. I've been working pretty hard on that last 2 weeks, getting some footage rounded up for it. So when that comes out, it should be a good thing for any brand new trapper that's never trapped before. Go out and catch their first beaver. So looking forward to that, and we'll see you guys later. So have a good night. Take care, guys.